Well, welcome back here on Prime Morning. If you just joined us here, good morning to you. Want to believe you've enjoyed all of the segment that have come through. We still have some more coming up here on the show, so I'll be updating you on that. And before we get into all of that, let's say a very big thank you to each and every one of you for your contributions in every day, here on the show. And for those of you also who have been watching our very own baby, which we all know that is the best singing competition, show on television right now. Cues and Lyrics would like to say big thank you to all of you. Keep the messages coming and keep voting for your favorites to ensure that they eventually become the winner. On Sunday at 8:30 p.m. it's going to be happening again. You don't want to miss out on that one as well. So tell your friends that the best on television when it comes to reality show on Earthing Talent is happening, and so they should be a part of it. I'm sure you will never regret it. Yes, indeed. This morning, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a very big issue to talk about here on Primary Insight. We're looking at the issue of delayed coupon payment, and we'll be looking at the angle of some, pensioners and what they feel about it. Now, don't forget that they have been picketing the ministry, and they seem to be, really not getting some headway, and so we want to take our attention to it and see how best we can also explore that conversation. Now, the Coalition of Individual Bondholders Groups has actually welcomed the commencement of payment of matured bonds and coupons to its members, confirmed by most of their bankers. The payments were originally due to have been paid on the 6th and the 13th of February 2023. However, the Ministry of Finance says the payment processes commenced on Monday, March 13, in a joint press statement issued by the Ghana Individual Bondholders Forum and Individual Bondholders Association of Ghana on Wednesday. However, they said that while they welcome the commencement of payment, it is important to also know that the failure of the Finance Ministry to be definite about the payment schedule or notification date for outstanding payments that does not augur well for the rebuilding of confidence in the financial market. Now, 2 days ago, they picketed the ministry because the coupons have delayed. We want to find out what exactly caused the delay and also how it feels to be in the position of the pensioners. Now, the code says, we're therefore calling the Ministry of Finance to advise its exact payment plans within a week of its first payment. We owe it to the credibility of Ghana's financial market and future generations to rebuild and sustain a credible and buoyant financial market, at least in the respect of information transparency as required of users or per the Securities Industry Act 2016 at 929. Now, we'll put this together. When I come back, my guest on Zoom will be Mrs. Kokwi Adu. She's the former CEO of Student Loan Trust Fund, pensioner. And I have also Dr. Adu Ananianchi, as the former Director General of Securities and Exchange Commission and pensioner, the convener of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum as well. But take a look at this. When I come back, I will engage them here on the show.
Balbir Alan and her husband have lived almost all their lives abroad. In 2018, they relocated to Ghana permanently and decided to invest their foreign pension into a microfinance, hoping to live on that.
We put our money into a microfinance company. We've not got all our money back. We're still waiting to get it all back. The remaining money he had, I told him, put it in government bonds. They are safe. We've put it into government bonds. Now, nothing is coming. I sold a family property. I feed several old women. I pay school fees for several young children.
After managing to recoup some of the lost capital, Balbil convinced her husband to buy government bonds because she thought it was safer. Little did she know she will have to beg government today for her money. She says the fear of losing her investment is already having a toll on her health.
This one, I'll have a heart attack or stroke, I will die. Already I'm taking diazepam. Is it right to sleep at night because I have panic attack? My heart to start poop, 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 like this. Then I have to hit my chest. Then I take my diazepam. Is this right?
Balbil says she is unable to pay the school fees and medical bills of her dependent.
I have cousins who are having psychiatric problems. If I don't give them their medication, they will start going out on the streets screaming and shouting and stripping themselves naked. What am I supposed to do? They need their medication. It's very expensive. They need monthly hospital appointments. They need monthly blood tests because the medication they take is so high, it causes damage to the kidneys and liver. When she gets a kidney problem now, where am I going to get the money from? I have little girls, small little girls, from the age of 6 up to 14. We pay their school fees. Some of them we've stopped paying their school fees. How will they get an education? Me like this, I can go out and hustle in town. What will the children do?
Another frustrated bondholder questions the dead silence of opinion leaders, including civil society organizations, on the agitation over the period.
Don't we have opinion leaders in this country? Where is Asantini? Where is Gamancheme? Where is Ochini? Where is Agbugbo Mefia? Where are all those people who matters? The Council of State had kept quiet. And those who matters in Ghana, who speak about matters, like the Reverend Mattes and the rest, today where are they all? Are they in this country? And we haven't heard of them. Where is the Christian Council?
Meanwhile, convener of the group, Dr. Edu Ananientwi, is hopeful the government will listen to their plight.
Payment for, I think, the early March 6, and I think 2nd March have started trickling in. And people have confirmed that they are receiving even the 13th or so. We don't have the, but some people have places on the platform that they have received their 13th one. So let's hope that is okay and government is.
As these pensioners retire home without any assurance on when government will pay their matured coupons, they hope for strength to converge tomorrow to press home their demands again. James Kosiaviji's report, read to you.
And that was a report put together by our sister station Joy News for that purpose. Now, before we get into it, let me tell you something very historic that is about to happen. Now, it is indeed historic, iconic, and thrilling, and it's birthed in Spain in 1635, called the Eyes of the World, performed in almost all stages in Europe, listed as one of the 40 greatest plays of all time, now here in Africa, and I'm talking about Accra. It is the Afrocentric edition of Life is a Dream by Lateef Abubakar, a Spain-Ghana production that is just about showing live at the Accra International Conference Center on the 27th and 28th of May. 2 shows each day, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. And it's going for a cool 150 Ghana cedis. You dial star 447 star 1092 hash to grab your tickets, or visit at Lateef Globe on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for details. The early bird ticket are going for 100 Ghana cedis before the 19th of May. Tickets are available at Joy FM Business Total, I beg your pardon, Bachona Total and Airport Shell. So when you go to the Joy FM front desk, you get it from there, Bachona Total and Airport Shell. Life is a Dream is sponsored by Embassy of Spain and the M&C Group. It's also supported by the Second Coming of Nkrumah project, powered by Joy Entertainment, Graphic News Plus, Panda Globe Productions. Globe Productions experience the best, and that's what you need to know. It's happening on the 27th and the 28th of May. You don't want to miss out on that. Yes, I want to see you there. Anyway, let me go on Zoom and welcome my guest here on the show this morning. My guest, Mrs. Kokui Edu. She's the former CEO, Student Loan Trust Fund and pensioner. Good morning, ma'am. If you can hear me, how are you doing?
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I hope you're good.
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you. I'm grateful that you're able to join us this morning here on the show. Dr. Edu Ananientwi, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well. Yourself?
I'm fine.
Great. I'm grateful that you're also able to join us this morning here on the show. So let me find out from you, Dr. Anani, please share briefly your experience with the delayed coupon payments with me.
Well, I think these things has delayed for a long time. The first one, even before the DDP was concluded, there were 2 coupons that were in arrears because of the delayed conclusion. Even by the time that everything has gotten to an end, which was on the 21st of February, that's what we call the settlement day, there was a coupon for 6 February and 13 February in arrears.
Yeah.
Government didn't pay that, and on the 27th of February, we went to the ministry, and the ministry promised it was going to start paying on the 13th after some reconciliation.
Hello? Okay, so I think that we have a technical problem with Dr. Entry's Zoom. Let me get to...
The government that was supposed to be made to the 6th and the 13th. Meanwhile, at that time, there were other coupons that were at mature. Government didn't tell us when the next payment would be done. It said in due course. Then later on, government came and paid those that were maturing or due on 20th February. 2 maturities, 2 coupons. There was one mature value. Government didn't pay that. Paid only the coupons and said it is going to announce in due course when to pay the rest. We never heard from the government. And so on the 30th March, we wrote to government that if we don't receive all our standing coupons by 21st of April, we would embark on this picketing again. We didn't get a response from government until the 14th of April, when we were invited, and the intention of government was to set up, reconvene a committee to look into pathways of.
Okay, I think we're having problems with this Zoom connection. Okay.
We only said that we would give government another week, which was 28. And up to 28 movement had been made. So we informed this, and we were starting application on the 8th. I think before the 8th, around the 5th or 6th, thereabout, we have attained the coupons that were March 6th.
Dr. Antwi, if you can hear me, I think that we have a connection problem with you. So kindly hold on for me. Let me try and speak to Mrs. Kokui and try and rectify your connection as well so that we'll come back to you. Mrs. Kokui, if you can hear me. Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I want to find out, do you feel some sort of betrayal, in terms of what is happening with yourself, pensioners, and government right now?
Thank you. Well, it's disappointment, it's more of disappointment because the minister did promise to pay us our coupons and principals as they came due by the very fact that we were exempted. Being exempted meant, our understanding and what it is that whatever coupons that we were holding at the time of the DDEP or by the conclusion of the DDEP meant that the terms and conditions would stay. And so everybody, when you have a bond, when your coupons will come. Yeah. And they come every 6 months. And you know the dates when your coupons will come. You know when your bond will mature. So we expected that, therefore, we would receive our coupons on due dates and then receive the maturity also on its maturity date. And so we are disappointed because that is not what we thought that the minister had said to us. And he told us this in Parliament. He went to Parliament and said that we were exempted, so we are disappointed.
Now, the living conditions of some pensioners have been expressed in various ways. You've had interactions with them. How is the severity of the situation?
Oh, it is very severe. I mean, when we started, you saw the story about the doctor on dialysis. The thing is that once you get to a certain age, there are all kinds of illnesses that come along with it. And because people know that, so they prepare for their future. Now, even when we go on picketing, we are telling you that it's the strongest amongst us that make it there. There's so many people at home that cannot come there. I mean, they are simply not in a position to be brought there, wheelchaired there, carried there, or whatever. They just don't have the energy. They don't have the health to come there. Okay. And apart from health, people need monies for other things. You see, some of them, they're going to use it to supplement whatever other income they have to even feed themselves, feed their dependents, pay for their bills, their utilities, just live the normal things that you have to do. You understand? So for me, it's something very sad that, you have your money with somebody and you need your money to be given back to you because you were told that you get your money. At the time that you gave your money, you were told that this is when you receive your money and all of that. Now, here we are having to justify, to people why we must get our money, what we are going to use our money for. I mean, what is the need for us for that? What is the need for us? It doesn't matter what one wants to use their money for or needs to use their money for, You don't have to come and tell you and justify it because you see, I'm not coming to ask you to give me money, to dash me money or something so that I must make a case for you to have sympathy for me to say, oh, well, you want me to dash you money, you need it for this, and I think it's a legitimate reason, therefore I'll give it to you. You understand? This is my money. That must be given back to me. Why must it matter what I need my money for? I mean, I don't need to ask you, gentlemen. When you get paid at the end of the month, what do I care what you use your money for? Why must it be important? Why must I let you know that I need money for my medication? I've just taken my medication this morning. When I tell the whole world what medication I take, what is wrong with me? Why must it be that? So for kind of the difficulty with this whole thing of having to come out to say that I need money for drugs, somebody is ill, it's just not right.
In your opinion, do you think that we could have avoided all of these situations that we find ourselves in?
If the finance minister had gone by his word, we would have avoided all of this. I mean, after we went through the first round of picketing and he agreed because he saw that what we were asking for made sense. Everybody saw that it made sense, that people have worked, they have put money away for their future, to use it in whatever way they choose and please. They loaned it to government when government needed money. You see, that sometimes I think people don't even understand this whole thing. Government needs money to do things. Infrastructure, develop the country, do all kinds of things for all of us to benefit from. But government needs to take money from people who have maybe some surplus funds or money that they don't have immediate use for. And then we say, fine, we give it out. So we've done something good. I don't need the money. And when it's time, you give it back. But this whole thing is being seen. I mean, some people don't really understand and just, don't even have any sympathy. But, one day you will find yourselves in those situations where you also loan money or something. Maybe then people will understand it better. But the thing is that right now we are being concerned about the confidence in the bond market and the whole financial services sector. Whether people will freely and willingly do that, in the future. Because they're going to remember some of these things and wonder whether if they go and put their money away, they'll get it back.
It's even worth doing it in the first place.
That it will come back. You see. So I'm concerned about that because government will continue to need to borrow money. I mean, every week we go to the treasury market. Government goes to the treasury market every week. It continues the need to take money, mobilize money from individuals and institutions, from anybody who has some spare cash that they don't have immediate use for. And so when you go and buy a treasury bill for 91 days, it's because you feel that, look, between now and 91 days, I don't have immediate use for these funds. If I just keep it, I earn nothing on it. And every time the inflation rate is going up and all of that, that money I'm holding loses value. So let me give it to somebody who has use for it. The benefit I get is that I earn some interest. The person who is borrowing it from me, that is government, the benefit they get from me is that they are able to do what they set out to do. So it's a win-win situation. I benefit by getting interest, value for my money. Government benefits by getting use out of my money. When it's time, pay it back so that I can now use the money for what need I have. At that time, I didn't have a need for it. But when you're paying it back to me, at that time, now I have need for my money. So that's what it is.
Speaking about the treasury market, now let me go to Dr. Mchi and find out from Doc. Doc, if you're back and you can hear me, I want to find out in your statements, during the picketing, you mentioned that government actually goes to the treasury markets to borrow and use it for other things, but the government is not ready to go and borrow from the treasury markets to pay you back your monies. Do you think it's something that government will consider? Looking at the fact that is one of the things that you proposed that government should do in making sure that your monies are paid.
You see, if government doesn't consider that, then I don't know what else government will consider. You don't have the means to pay. And this is about your only avenue left, the only avenue left for you to take money from the market is the treasury bill market. And note that government for treasury bills to pay mature treasury bills. And I realize that government always adds something on top. For what purpose, only government knows. And what I'm suggesting is that add something to what you need so that you use that one to take care of the servicing of the coupons and even the maturity. As for the maturity, I don't understand why government is not borrowing from the treasury bill. Because in that case, it doesn't increase your debt level. You borrow from the treasury bill market to pay for your debt in the bonds market, your debt level remains unchanged. So for principle, I can't understand why government will not do that. The only reason government will not do for the coupons is that it will raise the debt level a bit. But you see, we don't even know how much government owes us. I think it is insignificant. It's just a small amount that will not adversely affect our debt sustainability level. That we don't want to go more than this. What you used to pay pensioners, if you borrow from the market, will be just something small. Borrow that from the market and use it to pay pensioners their due coupons so that they can have money to do what they needed their money to do, especially for people whose sole income is from these coupons that they are using for their medication. And you see, if you don't do that, and you are talking about the economy, that if you borrow, you raise your debt level and it's not good for the economy. What did our president tell us when the COVID was there? He said, you cannot bring back dead people. But you can bring back the economy if the economy suffers. But if people die, you can't bring them back. That is exactly what we are saying. If you don't pay these pensioners for them to get their medication, they will die and you can't bring them back. Borrow from the treasury market and pay them to avoid them dying. And we can work to bring back the economy. This is the words of the president. So I can't understand why government will not do that. This is exactly what the president said. So I'm saying borrow from the treasury bill market to save lives, let the economy suffer a little, we will bring the economy back, as was said by the president. That's all.
Doc, at this point, would you actually, think that it would have been, good to have been participated in the debt exchange program?
No, that is worse. That is worse. You are not going to get any coupon until 6 months from the closure of the debt exchange program. And you are going to get a little, a lower coupon, because some of us are taking 20%, some people are taking 25%, and I can tell you, some people may be taking even 34%. But at the time that government stopped selling the bonds, it was running around 34, 35%. And people have bought it at that time. So if you were to enjoy 35, 34, and government, even after we have struggled, government say, I'll give pensioners 15, you are losing half, more than half for people who were at 35, 34. You were losing half of their coupon. So that was going to be worse than what we have now. And then we don't even know whether government, the way things are going, what is the guarantee that even the new coupons, the new bonds, government will be able to pay? Maybe we are waiting for the IMF money to use some to pay. I don't know the arrangements with IMF, whether that can be applied to servicing of these coupons and others. But that was going to be worse for us. This is better than, except that government is not planning its cash flows well. You promise to pay. If you promise to pay, put it in your cash flow. And sure, you see, that is what corporates do. Government is not different from corporates. If you borrow from the market, you must behave like a corporate organization. Plan your cash flow. If you need to borrow, you borrow so that you can pay. That is exactly what corporations do. You think corporations go to the bank to borrow for borrowing's sake? No. They want to support their cash flow because that's what cash management. You do it, you see, at June ending, I may need resources. So you arrange to take money from the bank by June ending so that you can put in cash to cover the loophole, the gap. That is what government must do. The T-bill market is still there. Please go and borrow and pay us. That's all. We can bring the economy back, but we can't bring people back if you don't give them their money for them to pay for their medication and leave. You can't bring them back. But if the economy is affected, we can bring the economy back. These are not my words. They are the words of the president.
Indeed. And COVID-19 told us a lot of things that we're all learning from one way or the other. But let me find out, it's been 2 days after picketing. There's no headway yet. What are we going to be doing? Are we going to be continuing with it, or we're probably going to be sitting our government?
No, you see, when we told people that, and I remember some journalists, even when the program was closed, and they called me and said, Doc, it is just and done, settled. No, you just leave it. You can't get anything. I said, look, we are going to get it. We are going to get it. And we got it. This one is even not difficult than the previous one. This one is not difficult. This one you owe me. Give me my money. That one also is not a.
But it doesn't look like they are ready to give you the money, and that's where a lot of people probably feel that you should be giving up already.
Let me tell you, for those of us who stay at the village, that's why I always say the traditional wisdom comes to play in some of these things. At the village, when you owe somebody, the person comes to you, give me my money. Then you say, oh, take water, sit down. So I didn't come to sit. I came to take my money. You don't give him. He goes away. He will come 1, 2, 3, 4 times. The next time he's coming, he comes with his mat.
To sleep in your house?
They say, look, if you don't give me my money, I'm going to sleep in your house today. That is how people were taking their money in that environment. This is where we have also reached. We have come. It's like we have brought our bed and pillow and say, if you don't pay us, we won't go. Exactly. Until government pays us all the arrears, we are not going to leave the premises of the ministry. We'll go there every day. Unless we ourselves, we are tired and we say we are taking some rest. We are not under compulsion. We will take a rest and resume. We will do it until the government pays every single person that is in arrest. You can trust me.
You're very positive about that?
Sure. Sure. You see, once God gives us some strength, and I'm happy to say that by all means, if we don't get even the numbers 10, we will get. There are people who,
Doc,
I thank God, have gotten the strength. The rest of
Doc,
our people cannot even talk or walk or come there. So I can understand. But by the grace of God, we will get at least 10 people who are strong enough. I call them our team A, our best team. Our best team will always get not less than 10. Even if it's 10, we will be there, and we'll be there until every person is paid.
Exactly what I wanted to go to before in terms of the conditions of most of your members and how they'll be able to, continuously go to the ministry to pickets. Let me get to Mrs. Kokui and find out. Mrs. Kokui, you think that we have the strength to continue with this? And if in the couple of months the monies are not still paid yet, we're still going to be continuing with this?
Well, like Dr. Nani has told you, that's what the strength from 10 people, we will find it.
Will that make an impact? Will the number 10 make an impact?
Look, even one person, if it gets to a point where we have to have one person sit in a wheelchair there, we will do it for the world to see. For the world to see. So we don't need to, bring a lot of people there. In fact, the fact that we are pensioners is the very reason why there won't be so many people there. Because some of them simply cannot make it. But those who have the energy, the strength, and the health, we will be there. You see that we go with our chairs to sit, and we do it for just 1 hour. Because that's all that we can do. We get there for 10 o'clock because we must wake up and take our time, have our meals, have our medication and come. And then we have to break on time so we can go home and take our medication and have a second meal or first meal or whatever it may be. So we will be there. We don't need to be there in our hundreds, making a lot of noise and all of that. Our composure and everything shows that we really are pensioners. We'll just do it nice and slow.
Are we seeking some compensation for the delay of payments?
Compensation, you mean as in the delayed payments?
Delayed, exactly.
Well, we have talked about that also, that some payments are delayed about 77 days and stuff like that. That's like 2 months, okay?
Yeah.
Where treasury bills are 91 days and people are getting 25% and whatever interest on it. We are getting nothing on it. But for now, we are not saying anything about it. I mean, the right thing it would be to pay us interest on monies that have been held back. That we just want our coupons paid for now. Pay matured principals to people. Sadly, coupons that were delayed in, say, February are due again in August. So before you know it, there's another round of coupons that will be, And so I just don't understand. I don't know what to think because I, for one, am somebody who has held bonds for a long time. And this has never happened. I've never had to even think about it. I just knew that my coupons come in September, in March, and it just comes. Now we are fighting for this. By the time we get it, or at the rate at which it's going, before we know it, it's another round of,
Yeah, so and that's where most of the problem would also start.
You receive your money now when you're happy and you think that is it.
Yeah.
In a few months, we are back to square one.
Yeah. Now, let me find out, and this just asking of your opinion. Do you think that the government genuinely does not have the money, or they're just being deliberate about, the inability to pay the pensioners?
We are not managing the affairs of the country. So these kind of opinions are hard to say, okay? If you or some owes you and they can't pay you, they are the ones who must tell you something. You understand? We were invited to a meeting where we were asked to propose something to government. When we don't hold the purse, we don't know what challenges government have. We don't know how deep it is. How can we make a proposal? So we don't know. And, you don't want to just say something because this is what you think. But if government doesn't have the money, that is why Dr. Anani was saying that government goes to the treasury bill market. So go there, take some money from there also to come and clear some of your debts. Because, especially like you said, for the maturities, if you have a debt of 10 million and then you go and borrow some money and come and clear some of that 10 million, it means that you are not adding up to your debt that much because you are reducing some with the new monies that you're borrowing.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you borrow, but you're not clearing those debts that you have, then you are just adding to the debt. So why don't you borrow some to come and clear some of ours? So you have 10 million, you go and borrow maybe 5 million, you come and use 3 million of it to clear 3 million of that 10. You come to 7, then you add 2 to it. So you add 9 instead of 13. You understand? Instead of 15. Because all that 5 can be added to the 10 to make it 15. But if you come and use 3 of it to clear some of the 10, it goes down to 7, you add 2 to it, you add 9. You understand? So you can be borrowing to be reducing your debt by paying people's maturities, their principals, and reducing the debt. But as it is now, borrowing is going on, but you are not clearing your debts with your bondholders.
Doc,
yes, there are ways.
Absolutely. Doc, before we go, we're just about wrapping up, but before we go, what message would you send to your members? What assurance are you going to give them? And also maybe your last message to government in ensuring that these monies are paid so we'll move on from where we are right now.
Well, for my members, as I promised them the other time, sometimes you realize that when the going is tough, then people say, are we going to make it? But at least now they have seen that no matter how tough it is, we will go through. So they should take that into consideration well, that no matter how long, how hard we are going, the song that we normally sing there, it will be hard, but we know we will get where we will get to where we are going. So no problem, they must be steadfast, and we will press on and move on. For government, yes, try and save the lives of these vulnerables who many are just using their coupons, waiting for their coupons to buy their medication. People have now started rationing their medicines. Instead of taking it once a day, they are taking it once 3 days. That is not how to maintain your life. And these are Ghanaians. These are elderly people who have served the society. They are not begging government to buy them drugs. They have invested in government bonds. They are using their interest to buy their own drugs. Their own drugs. Nobody is buying for them. Their own money buying their drugs. Government, please borrow from the treasury bill market and give it to them so that they can have, they can protect their lives and live. Because government and the president have said, you can't bring back the dead, but you can bring back the economy. Borrow if it hits the economy small, a little, not too much. There are not big money that you are going to borrow to pay this elderly people. It's very small. I say it is small. If it's not small, government should tell us how huge it is. That government fear that it will balloon its debt level. It is just small, insignificant. It will not do much. It will not raise much the levels of government debt in terms of the coupons. And for the principal, no reason it will be the same. Government should borrow from the treasury bill and pay the elderly in the society their money so that they can use it to buy their drugs, buy food, eat, and survive. Otherwise, they die, and we cannot bring them back to life. But the economy, if it gets hit, we can bring the economy back.
Indeed. Many thanks to you, Dr. Anani Enchi, for joining us this morning. Mrs. Koku, in the absence of any other thing, maybe we can just wrap up for this morning.
Well, yes, I would like to encourage our members that we shouldn't be discouraged. When we said we were going to start the picketing on Monday, we saw that a few payments were made. Rightfully, we thought, okay, here's just something to make us feel that the money is coming. So since then, we haven't heard of any more payments. So our members shouldn't be discouraged. Let's go out. Let's continue to ask for our money in the peaceful manner that we are doing it. We are asking government, please, find a way and give the money. Find a way and pay us. That's all that we can do. I mean, we can only plead. It's a shame that we should be pleading to be paid money that belongs to us. But it is what it is. I mean, we are forced to plead for our own money. And so we will plead, That's where we are. But we're keeping hope alive.
Absolutely.
We're keeping hope alive.
Absolutely.
Until we get our money.
I wish you and all your members the very best in this fight. I hope and pray that things are sorted so we can move past this situation right now. And speaking of that, I'd like to say a big thank you to you both this morning for joining us here on the show. Really appreciate it. I'm grateful that you were able to join us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so those faces you saw, Mrs. Kokui Edu is the former CEO, Student Loan Trust Fund, and a pensioner. You also heard the voice and saw the face of Dr. Edu Anani Entry. He's the former Director General of Securities and Exchange Commission and a pensioner as well. He's also the convener of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum. And they've been picketing the Ministry of Finance for their monies owed them by government. They insist that government must give them their monies back. Now, for those of you out there who probably may have lost in this conversation, last year, the government embarked on a domestic debt exchange restructuring exercise, prerequisite exercise that was actually to reach a staff-level agreement and with the bailout of the IMF and all of that. And I'm talking about the International Monetary Fund. Now, funds of various associations, including those of the individual bondholders and pensioners, bondholders, despite strong opposition, were used for the success of the program. Now, to cool tempers, government in negotiations with bondholders promised a set time to pay back their monies, given that it has defaulted. Tempers were beginning to actually rise as the economic hardship also seems to worsen periodically. Meanwhile, on the back of this development, the government has been advised on both individuals and local and foreign institutions to cut down on its borrowing spree. The pensioner bondholders do not mind government engaging in another borrowing, but they believe that their monies are supposed to be given to them, especially with the pensioners who seem to be struggling with some life, at the verge of losing their own lives and all of that. But we're hoping and praying that this will be resolved in earnest so we don't get to have this conversation. But that's our prime insight for this morning.